Hey everyone, this is Alan. Welcome to the PTI Nice Daily Show. Before we get started today, I just have a quick question for you. Are you looking for an online practice management software to help you grow and manage your business? If your answer is yes, then we think Jane could be a great fit for you. With features like online booking, scheduling intake, one-on-one telehealth built into the EMR with charting, paired with free data transfers from other EMR systems and unlimited free customer support, all at a low cost, about $100 a month, it's really easy to get started with Jane. Head on over to jane.app/physicaltherapy, and from there you can sign up for a live demo of Jane, talk through your questions with a member of the support team who would love to meet you and hear your story. You can also mention the PTI Nice Daily Show when you sign up for a 1 month free grace period to help you in your transition to Jane. Enjoy today's episode of the PTI Nice Daily Show.
Welcome to the PT on Ice Daily Show. My name is Dr. Alexis Morgan. I am one of two lead faculty for clinical management of the fitness athlete, pregnancy, and postpartum. Coming off of an awesome weekend out in Greenville, South Carolina, we were over in our live course for clinical management, and we had that. Yeah, I see some hearts flying. We had that over at Onward Greenville and had an awesome crew, an awesome time. Day one was at Onward Greenville. And then day two was at CrossFit Reaction down there. So it was such a fun time. If you all want to hit us up this year on the road, we are basically we're headed all over the country. So next month you can learn more on the website, but next month we will be in Denver, Colorado. That's late April. So we would love to see you all out there. That one is filling up really quickly. So if you're wanting to hit Denver in late April, it's going to be beautiful and we're going to have an awesome time. So if you want to hit that one up, better sign up now. And then also late April, our online cohort begins. So if you want to join us for 8 weeks as we dive into all of the literature surrounding this pregnancy and postpartum population specific to the fitness athlete, we would love to have you join our online cohort as well. So let's talk a little bit about today's topic, which is our top 2 referrals that we make in pelvic health. These 2 are really important, and obviously there are many referrals that we all make as physical therapists, sending to various physicians, sending in various corners of the community depending on the need. But the top 2 that we really find ourselves recommending are counseling and gyms. Those 2, by far and large, are the ones that I am sending, are the 2 places where I'm sending the majority of my clients. So let's talk a little bit about each one of those. So number 1, counseling. In pelvic health, if you're not already in this space, then you're likely a PT and you're treating people who are injured to some degree. And we recognize that even with even with someone who does not typically identify with having some type of mental health disorder, when someone has an injury, that can really pull us into a dark space. I know I recently injured my back, and while I knew I was going to be okay, while I knew I was going to get back to doing all the things, while I knew I had excellent care surrounding me, I was still really upset about not being able to do the workouts as I wanted to, not being able to move as I wanted to. And so mentally it just took me into a rough patch. And thankfully physically I got out of that. But even with that, it can be really challenging. And oftentimes we need a counselor or someone to talk with to kind of help us through those patches. And oftentimes within this, It's not maybe just the acute issue at hand. Sometimes when we're going through a rough patch or going through something challenging, it can bring up a lot of other things. And so in the pelvic health space, we see that a lot. So we're getting into discussions about sexual health, and sometimes that includes sexual trauma. We are talking about painful intercourse, and sometimes that brings up marital stress. We're talking about their hips. We're talking about their bodies, and their bodies may hold tension, and it can bring up a lot of trauma or a lot of difficulty. And so oftentimes we get into this level where they trust us and they want to talk about the things that they're being challenged with. And I am so frequently telling people that we need to bring a counselor on board. Like, I will listen to you, but I don't have all of the skills that you need to get through this mentally. I need some, I need you to get a professional so that I can be your professional for your body and they can be your professional for your mind. And together, we are all going to work together to get you through this. Oftentimes, people kind of say thank you and just want to move on. And so sometimes it's just planting that seed. It's really, really important that we have a lot of resources, whether that's virtual care, whether that's super local to where they don't have to drive very far, or maybe that's a little bit across town. That way they're not having to talk to someone who they may run into at the grocery store, right? So we need all of these options. And it's a it's wonderful to talk about mental health and about getting help when to our clients, and you'll often find that many people have tried or are currently going through some type of therapy, mental health therapy, and you can ask um, about what their experience is, or who do you see and do you recommend them, and what is their specialty. And that way you can start to not just have a list based off of what you Google, but have a list based off of your own clients and what they tell you. And that can be really helpful. And I've even, with permission, gotten clients connected to be able to talk about, okay, well, how was this clinician in helping, or what were they like? And so that can really help to lower that barrier. And then lastly, if you yourself feel like you may need counseling, consider it. There's so many times where I talk about how I just recently started back in therapy and how, oh, my counselor was talking about this and it really made me think. And it can kind of open up the window, lower that stigma, and it can really, it may be that extra thing that someone else needs to get the care that they need. So, for our number one referral, that's counseling. And you can find out more about your counselors by asking your own clients and starting that conversation. Having something virtual and a few local options is wonderful. And then you can also speak from personal experience if that is your case. The second biggest referral we make in pelvic health is going to the gym. So, some type of fitness facility that has childcare, number one, that's huge for new parents. Having childcare at somewhere at the gym, whether that's at the gym or nearby, where they can be able to get in and get a workout in, that's so, so important. It's also important for especially new parents, but really anyone in this pelvic space to be getting stronger and to be having that community of people who are pushing themselves physically and working harder and harder, meeting up almost every day of the week. It's such a wonderful tool, and it's often underutilized in the pelvic health space. In pelvic health, we often hear about and see that many patients are staying on the table throughout the entire session. So, on a treatment table on their sides or on their backs. We hear about that lasting multiple sessions a week for several weeks. And that's not what our people necessarily want. It's definitely not what they need. They need that functional. They need to be up on their feet. They need to be squatting. They need to be moving. So we're going to be teaching them that. But our one visit a week or every other week is not going to do it justice. They've got to get out there. They got to have a movement practice. And if that's new for them, then they can feel very self-conscious. So getting them into a space that's welcoming and that is inviting, that is something so important for that person. So again, just like we talked about having some resources of kind of various types, we also need that in the fitness space. So, like I'm a big CrossFit fan, right? And I go to CrossFit, but that's not my only resource. Because for some people, they don't want to go to CrossFit, or that's too far across town, or they don't have childcare exactly when I need it. So what other options do we have in the community? A group for just moms that maybe meets at the park, or maybe it's a different style, like a boot camp, or maybe the local YMCA has something. Like, know your community and know what these options are for your people. That way they can try them out and see what works best for them. So those are our top 2 referrals. Curious what you all think, and if you all are making those referrals, or maybe you have a different list of your top 2. Let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are with that. And I look forward to seeing you all again on another Monday for Pelvic Health. Have a happy day. Have a happy week. We'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.